Welcome to R.S.V.P. Listen to the show at your own risk. We will be discussing all taboo subjects like religion, sex, violence, and even politics. You should be ready for controversy, disagreements, face-offs, and maybe some downright rumbles. Well, sit tight and get ready for this week's episode. And by the way, if you're squeamish about obscenities, don't listen to our fucking show! Hey, everybody! How are you doing? Welcome to R.S.V.P. The taboo.
Oh my God, that cracks me up every
subject
single time I hear it.
Hey, I'm Diane Daniels, and I'm coming to you live right out of Tampa, Florida. And I've got my beautiful, sexy, sultry co-host, Bernadette Desmond, over in the Aussie land. Take it away, Bernie.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm in at night over there. Morning for me over here from down under. And happy to be here. Happy to be back on. This is our Game On. Second show. Excited. I was just saying, honest to God, it absolutely fucking cracks me up every time I hear that intro. And you're at the end of it, you're going, and if you don't like it, don't fucking listen to our show.
Well, I don't want anybody to listen if they're going to be offended. If you're going to be offended, you don't listen. Because you never know what we're going to say.
Or if you're going to be offended and you still find it entertaining, then listen away.
Listen away. If you want a little bit of entertainment, or if you'd like to practice listening to people you don't understand, then listen to me and Bernadette.
Hey,
right?
Yeah, right. But hey, quickly before we kick off into the show, just wanted to do a shout out.
Even though it started, yes.
Well, of course we've started. I wanted to do a shout out to all of our Anzacs. So for those of you who don't know, it's Anzac Day in Australia here today, which means we normally have a public holiday, which we still do. But obviously with COVID-19, normally we go out at dawn and we have services in all the memorials, and it's to commemorate like all of the soldiers in Australia and New Zealand who lost their lives in like 1919. And I think we lost about 8,000 of them. It went on for 8 months, and it was like one of our worst losses in history. So normally what we all do is we get up and we go out at dawn to all of the war memorials. What we're doing this year, because it's all digital, is everybody's lighting candles in their driveways. And Sean, my hubby, he's a proud Australian too. So he's down by the creek with a campfire listening to the last post. So here's to all of those men and all those women and all of those animals that gave their lives so that we can have our freedom today. So here's cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to all the Anzacs out there.
I don't know what that word is that you just said, but I know.
Anzacs, it's Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So Anzacs.
Wars and conflicts that they helped the United States of America with. Thank you, Australians and New Zealanders. We love you.
Yep, we do. So
all right.
That's I thought we'd get that out of the way today. Just to pay tribute to them. Bless them.
Absolutely, I'm paying tribute. Let me have another sip.
And I think especially too, even more so today, because everyone's freedom's being curbed because of this coronavirus and all the government shutdowns and lockdowns, and countries are going to their knees financially and through their health crisis. So I heard somebody on the radio yesterday, he was this 95-year-old war veteran, and he was saying that he thinks that the best word in the world is freedom.
Right up.
And he said,
it is.
Yeah, straight up. And so and he was saying from like a war perspective, but he said like also too, like from today, because everybody's freedom's curved. He said and I couldn't agree with him more. Like freedom, I say.
I'm all about freedom too. And I'm not talking about the maxi pads either. That's a brand.
I think that's a conversation for another day, isn't it?
Well, it would be, but I'm just letting you know in case any of the women out there were like, ooh, freedom maxi pads? No, you stupid ass. Not freedom maxi pads. Talking about freedom. freedom of your rights as a human being.
Freedom for your rights. For your rights.
All right. Now, while we're still on funny stuff, do you have a funny thing you'd like to talk about or show us?
I do. Like, okay, so again, COVID-19, bloody coronavirus, right? So everything's closed and shut down. So they shut down Bondi Beach. For those of you that are listening around the world, Bondi Beach, right? So Bondi in Sydney is like this really trendy place, and it's got this amazing beach, and every man and his dog goes there. That's slang there for everybody, just in case you don't know what that means.
We didn't.
Anyway, there's this guy, and he calls himself Mr. Bondi, right?
Mr.
And so
Bondi.
he's a strong Mr. Bondi. Anyway, he's really well known in the area. Anyway, God bless him. He decided that the rules didn't apply for him. So he goes down to the beach the other day, and he goes for a swim, and the cops come up to him, cops as being police, come up to him and go, hey, you know, you're breaking the barriers, you can't go down, you can't go for a swim. Anyway, old mate decides that he is not going to have a bar of it, so he just gives them a mouthful, and then they arrest him. So you've got this guy, this picture of this guy that's being arrested over this car. There he is, look at him, and he's in his budgie smugglers. Now, for those of you who don't know what a budgie smuggler is, budgie smugglers or dick togs, depending like which way you want it to go.
What? Dick togs?
Dick togs.
Sound like TikTok. 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 Dick dogs. Christ. What the hell is that? I know obviously it involves his dick, but what does that mean? Dogs. What is dogs? Balls?
So budgie smugglers or dick togs, right, are what old mate's wearing. So like it's really tight fitting lycra undie looking clothes that you wear. So here is this guy getting arrested because he thinks he's Mr. Bondi. Look, there he is.
Oh my God.
It is dick togs.
All right, so we call those Speedos in America. Speedos.
Yeah. I know, because that's the brand, right?
Yeah, see, but you know what I'm talking about. Who the hell knows what dick bogs are?
Dick togs and budgie smugglers.
Jesus.
Yeah, God bless him. He wasn't happy. Apparently, he's telling everybody that he's been treated like an animal.
I see.
And what I say is that serve yourself right, because seriously, I don't care how good you are in shape, Mr. Bondi. You shouldn't be out in public wearing your dick togs or your budgie smugglers. It's just wrong on all kinds of levels. See,
thank you. That's exactly what we need is a damn definition. Thank you.
It reveals the bulge of the genitals. I don't want to be seeing any bulging of any.
All right. So Australian men like to run around in their dick smugglers. All right. Now, thank you. Thank you so much, Bernie. I'll have that freaking thing in my brain now all day. All right. I've got the first one is how could you not live for the rest of your life now after coronavirus 2020 without having a memorable T-shirt? Okay. And we have a memorable T-shirt picture.
I survived the great one.
2020.
Yeah.
In 30 years from now, nobody is even going to be talking about COVID. They're going to be talking about toilet paper shortage.
Oh, I know. Do you know, just on that, did I tell you that we had a guy who bought $10,000 worth of toilet paper and was going to sell it online through eBay, couldn't sell it, and then tried to take it back to the store that he bought it from for a refund, and they said, nah, no way, get
hell
fuck
no,
off.
bro. Once you freaking take all the damn toilet paper, you keep it.
Who's got $10,000 to spend on toilet paper?
Obviously,
Seriously.
he does. So, all right, so our next picture, all the casinos here in America are closed down. Do you have casinos over there?
Yeah.
All right, so they're closed down, and we can only have up to 6 people gathering together who are not infected. So this is what gambling looks like in the United States now. Gambling with toilet paper, soap, sanitizer. There you go. Why not? Right?
And your masks. And your masks on. Oh, my God. I love it. Hilarious.
Oh, all right. Now, last but not least, we're going to find out who actually started this COVID-19. Over here in America, we're trying to say the Chinese, and it came from their laboratory, or it came from one of their wet markets when it got from an animal and transferred over to the human.
Yeah.
Like, this is the real culprit of the COVID-19 right here. That's right, Scooby-Doo. It's Charmin. Charmin Baptist is the culprit of COVID-19. Okay.
Oh God! I think you better send that to Donnie. I think Don needs to see that so he can stop looking for it.
It's a frickin' conspiracy.
Oh, there's conspiracy theories everywhere. Oh my God! I tell you, people are just
we don't have enough information.
Yeah, I know, and also too, like, people are just making up their own shit because everyone's bored out of their brains, and they're thinking, like, they're joining all these Facebook groups and.
Hey, come on! You didn't announce to the world to inject yourself with.
Oh, bloody hell! I can't believe
Make
that.
sure you heat yourself to death. You didn't hear that, huh?
Yeah, no, we did. And our health minister over here, the guy who's been guiding, the whole coronavirus thing, steering us in and out of it, he's going, like, under no circumstances, he goes, we do not inject patients with cleaning agents. And please do not try this at home. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. He's just, some of the stuff he says, he's just wild. Isn't he? Hello, I think we've lost you. You're lagging.
I'm here. I'm just going to be quiet when I don't hear anybody. I'm going to wait. Okay. Well, we got thunderstorms here in Florida right now.
I'll just improvise and just jump right.
It's just improvise. Just stand up and dance. Do a little dance.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
So that was the funny stuff, and maybe we'll switch it later. I don't know. It depends on how deep and dark our subjects get as we move on in the show in the next few weeks. But today our show is about violence, and each of us have some stories that we want to talk about. So, Bernie, why don't you let listeners know what you got today to talk about violence?
Yeah, well, I picked something really light today. So I've gone straight for pedophile ring. So I don't know whether just have a drink because you're going to need it.
But honestly, I'll need another one. I'll bring the bottle over.
Yeah, get your bottle. Just go straight out of the bottle, actually, while you're at it. So obviously pedophilia is one of those things that, honest to God, it just turns my stomach. It's something that I can't even comprehend. Mm-hmm. And so with everything that's going on with coronavirus, like, everybody's more online, like, everyone's Zooming, kids are learning online, they're using Zoom online, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, this week in Australia, we had a big win over here, but it actually started over in the States, over in Phoenix in Arizona. So we've busted a pedophile ring, and we've arrested like 16 people over here in Australia, and they saved 4 children, right? So, and the youngest of, and I friggin' all power to them. It's been 2 years in the making.
Wow.
And and we've had like these poor little children who are all related to these assholes, these monsters, right? So, and the youngest was 2 months old. And what
Barney.
Can you imagine? Like, I can't even fucking get my mind around it. Like, I just can't.
Well, for me, unfortunately, I don't really understand it, but I've had a career in law enforcement, and I've had to investigate many cases of pedophile, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
I don't know. I don't even really have words for it, right? Like, I just don't. Anyway.
I do. You ready?
Yeah.
Freaking bob it. Okay?
Yeah.
Bob it. That's all I'm going to say. Bob it.
I reckon a lobotomy. Fucking straight
that's
through
not
here,
even
so
good
they
enough.
Don't know who they are or what they are or do anything.
No.
But anyway, they've pressed 738 charges. So they've saved these 4 children, all related to these assholes. And what these guys were doing is they were raping these children, filming it, and then using encryption codes and then putting it on the dark web where all of these other sick asshole bastard pedophiles around the world were then paying to see these images.
Oh,
I mean,
that's right.
It's just so insidious and so fucking sick.
I know.
But Peter Dutton, like one of our politicians.
Don't act like we all know who Peter Dutton is. Tell the audience who Peter Dutton is.
Peter Dutton, one of our politicians.
He's not as famous as Donnie, okay?
No, he's not as famous as Donnie. But anyway, our foreign minister over here, he's saying that anybody who's not going to cooperate with the police on encryption code, so like that's Google and Facebook, are going to start actually facing prosecutions because they need these major companies, like the cops, the police, investigators need these major companies to partner with them so they can break these encryption codes and get into the dark web so they can catch these pricks. Not just these bastards that are actually got these children and that are grooming it, but also, too, the other sick bastards that are downloading and paying for it on the dark web all around the bloody globe, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, honestly, it makes my freaking skin absolutely crawl. And I just say, congratulations to all of those men and women that are out there. You know, people like yourself, Di, like in your former career too, who are out there and actually working in this industry. And I can't even imagine the effects that must have on these people in order to try and save these children and make our world a safer place.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they're saying over here is they're warning all parents, and this is for everybody around the globe, because we're doing so much more stuff online. You need to make sure that you know what your kids are doing, because these people are predators and they're out there and they are faceless, they're nameless, they can be whoever they say that they want to be in order to capture your kids basically digitally and groom them and then do whatever the fuck with them that they want.
I know.
So you know what, like be careful out there. And pedophiles, like, can you imagine what would you do if you were the parent of a pedophile?
Like, of a pedophile? Or if I was the parent of a child being victimized?
If you were a parent of a pedophile, of the perpetrator, like,
I think I would kill myself. I'm not kidding. I don't know. I mean, I would be so beside myself to think that I produced that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would react. I might kill them if I found out. I don't even know. I couldn't even.
Yeah, I know. But isn't it an interesting thing to ask? Because I've been thinking about this, like, since I was reading that story, and I'm going, because the horror is there's so much horror in both areas there. Like, you know, so the horror for the children, the horror for the parents of the children, although these men were related to these children, so they're more than likely fathers of these children anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, or at least uncles or something, right? So the horror is like, you know, what would you do? And if I had a child, I mean, I don't have children, but if I had a child that was capable of doing something like that, so evil, I don't know, what would I do? I would, like, I'd probably go out there and want to freaking take him out myself. Honestly, I would.
I know, but it's very hard. I can't answer it but I could tell you for the times that I've sat across from pedophiles and have to sit there and make believe that I care about them and that I'm there to help them. And that telling them that I know you didn't mean it and all this crap and bullshit. I really just wanted to kill them, to just take my gun out and shoot their fucking brains out. That's what I really wanted to do.
And so, like, that's what I mean, like, about these people. Like, I mean, you know, we're celebrating that, you know, they've rescued the 4 children, and obviously the men and the women that are behind that have actually helped make that happen. No one's going to really know who those people are. And that's what my point too is like, you know, imagine sitting there, you know, on, you know, whether you're talking to them digitally or face to face like you did, and having to pretend to befriend them so that you get the information out of them, and having to pretend to be a pedophile yourself in order to get the information out of them.
Yes, it's very, very hard, very, very difficult. It's one of the worst things to ever have to be involved in for anybody.
Yeah, I know. It's just, and one of my very good friends, like, you know, him and I often have conversations about pedophilia, and for him, I think he's a father of two children, and like two kids, two teenagers. And for him, he would say that as a dad, his biggest fear has always been his kids being molested or abused by a pedophile. And his kids are like 15 and 13 now, and he will still walk his children to the toilets, like, you know, public toilets at pubs or bars or whatever it is. He will still walk with his kids there, and with his son, he goes in with him, and then his wife will go in with their daughter, and they still do that.
Bernie, who is this person?
This is a friend of mine.
Okay, but can I tell you something? Just from hearing what you're telling me, that person has been a victim of sexual abuse. Or that person was a witness to someone abused or knew about someone else.
Yeah,
to carry those conversations with you, and then to be that strict and about their children, they have much more knowledge than what you're leaning on, okay?
Yeah. Well,
right.
Yeah, so, his wife, his partner, who's also a really good friend of mine, she's from the industry too, like from the counselling industry, like, you know, and even like me, like with my counselling, like, so one of the things when I very, very first did my diploma for counselling was they asked you, were there certain things that you would not treat? So certain people and illnesses that you would not treat. And for me, it was pedophilia. Like, I just knew that there was something that I couldn't treat. I could not sit across from somebody. There is no way. So, and I think I've only had two people in my last probably 20-year career. Because, of course, they don't come to you saying, hey, I'm a pedophile. I want to have help.
Of course not.
They come to you for other reasons.
Yeah. And
then eventually it came out that it was pedophilia, and then I just moved them on because I just couldn't go there.
Well, I applaud you for doing that, because you wouldn't have been able to do right by the person because you were biased.
Can you hear me?
I do. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me at all?
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear.
No. Shit.
God, I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh, it's my internet, of course, right? Hello?
I can't hear you.
All right, well, keep talking.
Nothing's working. Yeah.
You talk.
I can't hear you.
Blah, 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 blah. You talk. Blah, blah, blah,
sounds
blah, blah, blah,
like, looks like. Yeah, I can't hear it either.
Okay. I don't know. John, can you hear me?
I think what I'll do is
you can hear me. Okay.
Message.
All right,
John
Bernie, shut up.
To let him know.
Bernie, shut up. Shut up.
I'll stop.
You. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk. John can hear me. I'll talk. All right. So the next. First, if anyone. All right. I don't know why she can't hear us, but anyway. If anybody has a question, or if they have any opinion that they want to say in regards to Bernie's topic on pedophiles, please send it to us, and send it to talk@rsvp.com. And we'll take your feedback, and we'll bring you up on the next show, and we'll talk about it. So the subject I'm going to be talking about now, and Bernie, you just let me know when you can hear me, is I'm going to be talking about protests. Okay, I'm going to be talking about protests. So protests here in the United States have gone absolutely bonkers. And many of the states have started protesting. And on the left here in this picture, we're taking a look at Texas. And in Texas, in Austin, Texas specifically, they've had anti-lockdown protests with Trump supporters who are chanting "Fire Fauci." So they're talking about Dr. Fauci, who's the head of the Infectious Disease Institute. And they are chanting "Fire Fauci" because they want to get back to work. And they don't want the medical community to keep them sheltering at home any longer. So they are out there protesting because they want America open again. That's why they're protesting. Bring that picture back again, John, because that middle picture is kind of crazy. And those are people in Michigan who are outside the Capitol in Michigan who are actually regular citizens carrying, whatever, assault rifles. Because they can, because for the Second Amendment, they can. So they're showing their constitutional rights. And Michigan has been one of the largest protests and highly publicized protests in the nation because they're going against Governor Gretchen Whitmer, okay, because she has had the strictest stay-at-home orders in America, okay, and has closed all the businesses down. And as a matter of fact, she just signed an executive order to keep Michigan closed and the stay-at-home order through May 15th. So she just extended the order, which is going to only make these protests worse. Okay, these protests are going to get larger. I anticipate much more violence because the police officers and the people that are protesting are starting to come between each other, and people are getting arrested. And it's starting to get really, really bad. The people have just had it in Michigan. They want their rights protected. They don't want to be staying home anymore. They want to get back to work, and they need to make money. And the governor finally conceded a little bit, where she's going to allow some of the businesses that can offer curbside pickup or delivery service to open, and in large retailers like Home Depot and Lowe's, that they can open up their garden centers and their paint centers because they are larger and can accommodate more people at safe distances. And also golfing and boating activities are going to the things that are going, but I have a feeling that many more Michiganites or Michiganers, I don't know what sounds better, are going to be protesting in Michigan. And the last one, John, give it to me one more time. Okay, on the right-hand side is in New York City, and those are fake body bags, okay, that people have dumped in front of Trump's property in New York City, and they have also dumped fake dead body bags in front of Trump's properties in New York, California, Chicago, and in front of Trump's International Hotel in Washington, D.C. Okay, these are anti-Trump supporters who are stating Trump's lies, people die. Okay, so they're anti-Trump people. And this is in the response that they feel that the Trump administration has done a horrible job in response to the COVID-19 response. And they are protesting by putting fake dead body bags in front of all of Trump's properties. So we've got anti-Trump people can't stand Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan protesting, and people's rights are going crazy. They're just going absolutely nuts, and people are screaming all over the country for their rights, and they want to be free to get the hell out of their houses, to get back to work, and screw the virus. I'll die if I have to. Americans are fighting for their rights and their liberties. They're fighting for their freedom, Bernie.
I know, but and I don't blame them on some kind of level, but also too, we have got a virus, and I don't know what kind of conversations happen over there, but over here, I had a conversation 2 weeks ago with a business owner, and they were saying, I don't know why they don't open everything up in Australia and let the virus just run its course and run through, right? Because it's only killing old people anyway. And, cancer kills more people than what this virus is going to kill, right? And what I said to her is, but cancer's not contagious. The virus is contagious, right?
Good friggin' point. Good friggin' point, Bernie.
You can't fucking compare cancer to a virus that's a contagion. Shoot me now. That's just fucking stupid. But this is what people are thinking, because, look, they're desperate. They're financially screwed because they've got no business. And I'll tell you, I'm one of them, right? I had 2 businesses that were my sole source of income One of them shut down permanently, and the other one, who fucking knows? It's on the brink. It's a hairdressing salon. It's shut. I don't know when I'm going to open it or if I'm going to be able to. And I'll tell you something, if and when it does open again, the trade is going to be fucking shit, because it's all right for people to say, open your business, get back to work, right? I get that. But the fact is that the message is stay home because we've got a virus and it's a pandemic. And the only reason Australia's numbers are where they are now is because of social isolation. So it's because people are heeding the stay at home, the don't do this, the don't do that. And at the moment, that's the only weapon that we've got against it, right? That's the only thing we've got to fight it. So my thing is that open my business up and then wait for whoever is going to walk past the door. I tell you right now, every single country is on its knees financially, and we are in this, and it is a long, long game. Because, like I said, you might open up your doors, but unless it's like drive-through, like food and stuff like that, I guarantee you everybody else is going to be struggling, because the majority of people are still going to want to stay at home so they don't catch the fucking virus.
Well, this is going to be directly related to you and your business, Bern. So in Georgia, the state of Georgia, they opened up already. And I saw today on the news, they showed a barber shop.
Yep.
And the guy was a barber, and he had on a mask, and he had on gloves. And the person getting his hair cut had on a mask and gloves also, and he was cutting his hair. So the state of Georgia has already opened, and they are now conducting more non-essential businesses. And that's how they're treating it right now.
Yep. Over here, hairdressing is classed as an essential business. So you don't have to close your salon. So there are salons over here that are still operating. If you're a nail salon or a beauty salon, there's no way you shut down. We've got a 1.5 metre distancing rule that we're supposed to follow.
What's 1.5?
A 1.5 metre. Get Siri out, love.
Jesus, let me get it out. No, fuck Siri. She don't understand me, but I'll get out my calculator or something.
Yeah, 1.5 metre distance, right? So I can tell you 1.5 metre is like my arm and half along again. So you tell me how you're supposed to do hairdressing at that distance, like not unless you're Edward fucking Scissorhands, right? Like it's not going to happen. So over here in Australia, if you have a hairdressing salon, you can still open.
1.5 meters is 4 feet, 11 inches here.
Yeah, right. So
how the hell can you cut someone's hair if you're 4 feet away?
You can't.
Almost
you
five.
can't, right? So all this contradiction, like, so we want to keep you safe, but you've got to be 1.5 meters. But, by the way, you're a hairdressing salon and you can open. And they're saying it's because hairdressers work back to back, so you work behind your client. But you don't work behind your client when you've got them, you shampooing their hair at the basin. You're leaning over them about this far apart, breathing all over them.
Yeah.
And they're breathing all over you as well.
I know.
But
so you're going to have a mask. Would you agree that if a person had a mask and the hairdresser had a mask and gloves, that they could perform their job?
Well, you can't. Like when you're hairdressing, I mean, we wear gloves, like, when you
do coloring.
I don't actually, but when you do colors and stuff like that. But wearing gloves, like when you're trying to cut hair and that sort of stuff, like if I was to wear a glove and I do dry haircuts, so on dry hair, you can't do that because it catches on the hair. You end up pulling half of their fucking hair out. So like the whole practicalities of it. But take the practicality away. My thing is that as a business owner, it's my responsibility to make sure that my staff and clients are safe. So can I 100% guarantee their safety? No, I can't 100% guarantee their safety. And that's even following social distancing laws, one person per 4 square metres over here, wearing gloves. Over here, the advice that we're getting day in and day out is don't wear gloves because they're completely useless.
So you're for staying closed until we got a better handle on this.
I think so. Like, I think that we need to stay closed until, and I know everyone's hurting. Like I said, I'm one of it. So are my staff. I don't know whether I'll have staff when I reopen, because I don't know, one, whether they'll want to come back into it, whether they're going to feel safe enough. I know for sure, like, I don't know whether I'll have any clients, because I guarantee you people are going to be used to doing home hair colours. So they're going to go, well, fuck, why am I going to go to a salon and spend, $200 or $300 when I can go down to the supermarket and I've been whacking this in for the last 3 months. So I'm okay with that. I think we'll get a surge of people because they want to be like, it's like letting wild animals out of a corral. Like, like they're going to go out and they'll go and have services and stuff done. But the big thing is money. Like, we've got, like, you got 26 million people out of work over there, more than the Australian population.
Yeah.
We've got something like 4.4 million. In June, it's going to go up to 10%. So that's the highest unemployment rate in Australia that we've had since the 1930s, the Great Depression. So not only that, we're going to have all of these people out of work and they're not going to have money coming in. So the recovery time for businesses on a financial perspective, you're not looking at when we can reopen. You're looking at when we reopen and a good 18 months, 2 years after that. In Australia, they are saying that we are not unlocking our borders to international travellers pretty much until we have a vaccine. So
okay, well, I hope we don't wait that freaking long, because you may never get a vaccine. But I understand what you're saying or what your government is saying, because they need to get a control on it, or and treatments that will absolutely take control of it. But we may never get it. Might get a vaccine.
We may never get a vaccine.
No,
that's true.
Never. Okay, there's no vaccine for SARS. There's no vaccine for HIV.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they have to realize.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I guess like New Zealand, like, they're talking about that we might be able to open our borders up to New Zealand because they've got a really low rate like we have of infections. But even then, people coming in from New Zealand, or if we went there, you'd have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine. So if you were going to come here for a holiday from New Zealand, you would have to go into quarantine into a designated hotel, which you would have to pay for yourself, I'm assuming, but at that stage. At the moment, you don't have to pay for it. But
what happens if you got tested? What happens if they got
But even if they get tested, so in Australia here, you can, what they're talking about doing is 2 weeks quarantine in a hotel room and getting tested. So you cannot go outside of your hotel room for 2 weeks.
I don't agree with that, Bernie.
What don't you agree with?
Well, I don't agree with that. They're just taking everybody and going to stick them in a hotel for 2 weeks. What happens if you have the people, they've already had the virus? Test them as soon as they come in, and if they have the antibodies, let them go. They're not going to give it to anybody. They've already had it.
Yeah, but haven't they proven that they've had people that have been reinfected overseas? Right.
All right. But that.
So I mean, that's what they're saying. They're going, just because you've had the virus doesn't mean that you can't get it again, because you can actually get it again.
Well, that's just like people with chickenpox that get friggin' shingles later on. Nothing's a guarantee.
Yeah.
All right, people got to realize that with all these viruses, none of it's a guarantee. Okay, other people can get it.
Yeah, and I guess so. Like, I mean, I'm all for. I actually think that if you're going to come in from overseas, if I'm going to go to your country, that I should go into quarantine for 2 weeks when I go there. Because if that's
coming over to our country. You're only talking about New Zealand. They only have lambs and sheep in that goddamn country. So what are you worried about? All right, we're talking about coming to America, for God's sakes. All right,
yeah,
America. Come on, but you're going in. You're going in goddamn quarantine if you come over here.
There are so many people from New Zealand that live in Australia.
Yeah.
Right. And it's our biggest country, like, that come over here. They come here for holidays and they fall in love and then they decide to stay here. So there's so many people here, we call it from across the ditch, right? So they've got families here and they've got families over there. So for those people, and they're used to traveling a lot from backwards and forwards between each other.
Okay. What are we talking about? A low rate? Do you have any idea? How many people in New Zealand have the virus? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I think they've got in the country around about 1,600 or something or other, and they're down to 2 or 3 new cases a night. That was the last time I checked. So they're not too far behind Australia.
Okay. I really think you guys could work it out between Australia and New Zealand, where you guys could come back and forth with some.
And that would be the only place I think that they.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Absolutely.
With New Zealand is, you know.
But I agree that you should shut your borders to every other country. America needs to shut their borders to every other country. Don't let anybody else in until we've got a handle on this. And the every day the cases have dissipated to nothing. If I could read that, that would be great, but I can't even read the damn thing. I don't even know what the hell that was. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. That's John, our producer. Thank you, John. Okay. But anyway, let me tell you what. Let me go back to my protesting. I don't know how we get off these subjects, but for my protesters, this is how I feel about that. I believe every American has their right, to free speech and their right to peaceful protest. But in this active COVID-19 environment, if you want to take thousands of people or hundreds of people and protest in public and not protect yourself against this virus or anyone else, go for it. But if you get the goddamn virus, you're on your own and we're not treating you because you put yourself in danger and other people in danger. Yeah. I'm all about everybody's rights, but if you're going to go out there like an ass and have no mask and no gloves and protect yourself, your family, and other people, then if you get that virus, then you're not going to get the friggin' health care. That's what I say.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. But that could work. Like if you're going to do that, that could work. But the thing about it is that we know for everybody that's out there, like being, I don't know, redneck or being narrow-minded or I just call it being fucking selfish, frankly, because we are all in this. I mean, you've only got to look at the world map and look at the numbers that are around the world is we're in it together. So even though we're all sort of like hunkered down in our own countries at the moment, all of our economy is interlinked and interlocked, right? So we actually can't sustain and thrive being just locked in our own countries. And if you've got warring factions then that were within your own country, like a civil war basically, then I just think it's fucking selfish because at the end of the day, you've got people that want to go and, flout all of the science and all of the rules based on the fact that they're suffering. But they know they're not the only people suffering, whether that's financially or emotionally, physically or spiritually or whatever it is. I don't think that there's a person walking the planet that hasn't been affected by coronavirus in some way, form, or
no, every single person has to be affected somehow.
Yeah. So
they're either in their goddamn house, their hut, their tent, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And or they know someone that has had it. They've seen what's going on. They've heard what's going on. They're a witness to it. It's affected everybody on this planet.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're connected by it. So I just don't understand how you can have people in states of America that are going, well, pretty much fuck you, because they're saying not fuck you just to their own countrymen. They're saying it to everybody else at large, because if we don't get a handle on this virus, like I said, there's no point comparing it to fucking cancer or road deaths because we've got so many more of them that happen a year. It's contagious. So you know what? And it's dangerous because you can pass it on. You don't even have the friggin' symptoms.
Hey, let me tell you, with the Spanish flu, because those people didn't know jack shit. Okay, they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what caused it. They didn't have a cure. They didn't have medicine. They didn't know shit. All they knew was to close the door and stay home. And that in itself is what helped control the spread of the virus, and it phased out. Those people did the smart thing, and they mitigated all the circumstances by staying home and being home and stop the spread of the virus. With all the shit that's going on now and all the advancements, that's what we need to continue to do and ease up the openings around the world and take it slow, step by step. And if it's working, then you keep moving forward. If it's a spike in cases, you got to stop right there and move back a step. We've got to take this slowly, people. We've got to make it work. It's the whole world. It's our future for mankind.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the movie Independence Day. Without aliens, it's a virus instead of the aliens, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we're going to close this topic now because we're running out of time, for Christ's sakes. We could be talking about this till the freaking sheep come home in New Zealand. So now, if you want to send a comment about the protesters across the United States, and are you a Trump supporter, an anti-Trump supporter, a Fauci supporter, I don't give a shit supporter, whatever you want to tell us, send us an email to talk@rsvp.com. And if you'd like to make a comment or have an opinion about pedophiles, good or bad, or if you are a pedophile, let us know why. Send it to talk@rsvp.com, and we will take a look at that. And it's a damn good possibility you might be on our show next week or in a coming episode. And I have the stat of the... I love this internet shit. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. Thank God. All right. So... I have the longest active inmate in prison who contracted the coronavirus. How long do you think that person's been in prison?
59 years and 3 months.
Jesus Christ, that's pretty precise. Who the hell does that? Not bad. Over 50 years and 1 day. I don't know. Over 50 years. Okay, there's a woman.
59 years and 3 months.
I don't know where the 3 months came from. But anyway, there's state prison who was incarcerated for a armed robbery with a toy gun, and she ended up shooting one of the people in the store, and she got placed in prison. And for over 50 years, she was in prison, and she appealed for clemency to the parole board, and her application got approved. Okay, her application got approved, but it sat on the Louisiana governor's desk for 9 months.
Oh my God, you're joking.
Yeah. No, I'm not joking. The Louisiana governor, Bell Edwards, that's the Louisiana governor. It sat on the desk of the governor for 9 months. And then when the coronavirus broke out, this woman, her name is Gloria Williams, contracted the virus in prison and is one of the people. And she's suffering with severe complications with the coronavirus, and she should have been let out of jail unanimously by the parole board. And because it sat on the governor's frickin' desk, she's got coronavirus.
So can she sue for that? Like, will she be able to sue for that?
I don't know. What are you, the goddamn lawyer? What are you doing over there?
Yeah,
now you're already going to represent.
No, I'm not. But I'm just thinking, fucking. You've been in jail for like over 50 years, and a piece of paper sits on a desk for 9 months.
9 frickin' months it sat on the governor's desk.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know. And it was unanimous decision.
And now she's got coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. She should be suing their ass off.
Well, thank you. Okay, there, Gloria Williams. Bernadette says sue their asses off. Okay, so
how old would she be?
Oh, she was 25 when she got arrested, so she's in her late 70s now.
Yeah, tell her to bloody take them all the way.
Gloria, take it from Bernie. Sue their fucking asses off. Sue the governor of Louisiana.
Gloria, send me an email at talk@rsvp.com, and you and I can have a convo. And I tell you what, I'll get my people to contact your people, and we'll get this shit sorted.
Anyway, so she is the longest inmate term to have the coronavirus.
Oh my God, poor darling.
That's it. I'm serious.
Is she getting better?
I don't know. I'll have to check on her freaking status. Oh,
look, you've frozen up again.
I'll check on it. All right, so there's the stat day. Let's quickly move on to Your Opinion Matters.
Yep, we want to hear from you. And we want to hear from you because we don't need you to be politically fucking correct. In fact, the more politically incorrect you can be, the more that we're going to love you. So
love you.
Yeah, love you.
Love you in your dicky tongues or whatever the hell it's called.
Naughty woman. Budgie smugglers. And if you feel like you need to send us in photos of your bloody budgie smugglers, well, then you can do that too. Not saying we're going to show it, but do it if that's what you feel like you need to do.
God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so.
All right, who do you got today? Who sent you an opinion? We started last week. We got 2 freaking emails. Thank Jesus God. All right, so we can talk about it today.
Okay,
so,
well.
one for Bernie and I got one. Thank you, God. Okay. We got 2 emails.
We did. Okay, so this is actually from Janine. All right, so, and Janine's from Queensland, and she was just ringing, not ringing, but emailing and letting me know about, we were talking last week about all the border closures and stuff like that. Like, so Queensland border is shut and New South Wales is not. And she was ringing me in because she's on one side of the border, I'm on the other side of the border, and never the twain shall meet. But what it's doing is it's causing all of this friction between Queensland and New South Wales. So if you're driving from Queensland into New South Wales, right, and you're parked like at a beach, for instance, and a New South Wales person sees your car, they're getting really angry. So like they actually keyed the car, got a key and scraped all up the side of the car because you had Queensland number plates. Wow. And she was saying about, how fucking ridiculous is that? Like, we're all Australian, right? And she was just saying about in her line of work, she's in the employment industry, about how all of this sort of like almost like in-house racism is happening between Queensland and New South Wales because she deals with 2 different clients from New South Wales and Queensland. And she said about all of this stuff that's happening, and I can't believe this stuff doesn't make the news because obviously it's not newsworthy enough for them to be putting out there. But here we have almost this little war going on, whereas if you cross the border and you've got a Queensland number plate and you park your car somewhere, some friggin' disgruntled New South Wales Welshman, we call them cockroaches. So in Queensland and New South Wales, in Queensland you get called a cane toad, and in New South Wales you get called a cockroach.
It's pretty kind of
state of origin.
In here they'd call you a motherfucker. They're pretty nice over there. Pretty nice, are you, Australia?
Yeah, it's a state of origin football thing. That's something for another day.
Anyway, so what the hell what did she want to say? What did she say?
Well, what she wants to say is like how fucking ridiculous it is.
It's all ridiculous.
That you can't drive across the border.
Huh?
Yeah, that she goes that you can't just drive across the border, like, because she's got to go across the border for work, and she's got a Queensland number plate. So she's had one of her colleagues have their car keyed because they were parked there and they had a Queensland number plate.
Man, that's
how
BS.
Ridiculous is that?
That's BS.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Come on, Australian people, get together. Come on.
Come on, cockroaches.
Come on, people. All right, and I got one from Ray in Chicago, Illinois. And all he wanted to tell me was, give me liberty or give me death. That's what he says. And that was a famous verbiage from Patrick Henry, one of our founding fathers in America. When we had the kings of England ruling the land and they wanted to put taxes on every goddamn thing you had so they could make money. And right before we had our American Revolution. So I guess Ray is saying, fuck this. I want to get out and go to work. That's what he wants. Give me my liberty. So Ray wants to practice his rights and his liberties as an American citizen. And I believe then that he is against the stay home rules and all the different rules and regulations and frickin' all that shit going on. So thank you so much, Ray, for that. I appreciate it. And thank you. What's her name? Leanne?
Janine.
What?
Janine, love.
Janine. Christ. Janine. Thank you, Janine, for your email. All right. Anybody else, if you want to give us any information or input or what you feel about what we did, good or bad, please just send us an email to talk@rsvp.com. And
yeah, we want to hear from you.
We're going to want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So what
absolutely.
you got the cards there, Bernie? We got to pick our topic for next week.
Oh, actually, I don't, but you can just pick the numbers.
Oh, all right. We're going to pick the numbers.
I'm just writing it up like that. We are going to get a wheel.
Oh my
Can you
God,
see that? Is that
I can't see a goddamn thing, but okay. I trust you,
Just
babe.
pick a number.
I trust you.
Just pick a number between 1 and 5.
Jesus. At least I had cards. God. All right, folks. So just so you know, R stands for religion, S stands for sex, V is violence, P is politics, and we have wild cards. So when we have a wild card, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want because it's our goddamn show. And if you don't want to listen, get the fuck off. Right, Bern?
That's it. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen.
Have to listen. Get ready? All right.
But
I'm ready. So what do we got? 1 through what?
What number?
1 through what? 1 to
1 to 5.
5, 1 to 6, 1 to 5. I'm feeling 3, baby. I'm feeling 3. Give me a 3.
Sex.
Nice. Orgasms for everybody.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. And all the things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. That's what we're going to talk about next week. All right. So if any of you want to send us your comments or opinions about sex, we don't care what it is. Send us to talk.
No, we don't.
At rsvppodcast.com. I think I've been giving out the wrong email the whole show. Have I?
R.S.V.P.
It's R.S.V.P. podcast.
Oh, you have too.
Jesus, what an ass.
Go. But we're right onto it, you and I.
We're on it now. We're new. Give us a break. We'll have it down pat by next week.
Or not. Show. Or not.
Talk. That's TALK at rsvppodcast.com. There you go. That's the correct one. Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody.
She's got it out. Yeah, that's
Give
it.
Me a break.
Talk at RSVP podcast.
I've been home too long.
Your isolation's going to your brain. Well,
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, you're losing your mind.
They're caving in. The people are body snatchers. All right.
I can't believe that Trump's got fake dead bodies out the front of his buildings.
Yeah, they put them all over by his properties.
Oh,
body bags, baby. Put them out there.
Oh my God. Do you know what? That'd just make him laugh.
I know.
He wouldn't give a rat's ass about that.
I don't know.
Would he?
We'll see.
That
can't wait. I can't wait to hear all about it at 6:00 on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Are you getting news like every freaking 10 minutes of the day? It's giving me the shit.
I know. He's his own show.
That's why you're far better off listening to us people
anyway,
because we are way more fun.
It's been a pleasure, my love. You take care of yourself.
Love. I'll catch you next week. And,
until next time, love, and everyone
sex.
else out there. Thank you.
Welcome to R.S.V.P. Listen to the show at your own risk. We will be discussing all taboo subjects like religion, sex, violence, and even politics. You should be ready for controversy, disagreements, face-offs, and maybe some downright rumbles. Well, sit tight and get ready for this week's episode. And by the way, if you're squeamish about obscenities, don't listen to our fucking show!